The first meeting of this committee took place in January 2001, and the first quilt square was hung October 2001. The project has grown today to have barn quilt trails in 27 states throughout the United States and 2 provinces in Canada. When I spoke to Donna Sue, she told me that quilts have powers. Every day there's a quilt story being made. Every day remembers a quilt. People run to their closet and pull quilts out from underneath their bed to share the stories. And I'm sure many of you with us today have a story about a quilt, so please share them with our employees as the day fun events go on. Barn Quilts at AccuQuilt, with our unveiling of the Barn Quilt, we are just adding another storyline and block to the trail of Barn Quilts. Last week when I spoke to Donna Sue, she told me she was unable to be here today, but she wanted me to share that as far as she is aware, this is the first time a company in the quilting industry has actually put a barn quilt square on the side of their building. So she was really excited that we're taking her vision one step further. And she also said, since she wasn't able to attend today, that she wanted me to share that although she wasn't here in person, she's surrounding us today and in the excitement and fun from Ohio. The first barn quilt that was installed by a loving daughter to honor her mother was the Snail Trail design. As we unveil our barn quilt, we do so to honor quilters and share their stories worldwide. Donna, as she had shared, the barn quilt was to create economic opportunities, but also to preserve the stories of those that built barns, the family and their farm stories, and their quilts. But equal importance were the quilts of the families and the stories, so we need to remember all our stories. The AccuQuilt Barn Quilt was chosen from over 400 entries in our contest. Our contest ran from August 23rd to May 14th, so not even 30 days to get 400 entries. That's pretty exciting. All our employees voted. Everybody got 10, I think it was 10, wasn't it, votes? And because we couldn't narrow down to one. And then the top winners of those, the top 10 were chosen to go into our management team's meeting, and from the management picked the top winner that we're going to unveil here in a second. And then our Facebook friends chose the second and third place. Believe me, it wasn't an easy choice. And for a couple days you would see our employees walking by the sea of printouts of all the different designs that were entered and trying to pick. We even had the AccuQuilt chicken to help in the voting, but he's not here today because we're serving chicken for lunch and he felt it wasn't appropriate. So the top 3 winners, third place wins a $150 gift certificate. The second place wins a $500 gift certificate, and our prize winner, Linda, gets to do a shopping spree through our warehouse for $1,000. And then we brought her to Fremont with her husband, and they're getting to enjoy Nebraska weather at its finest. So our third place winner was a design submitted by Jane Rodgers, who's from Fitzgerald, Georgia. And it is a colorful 8-petal stylized flower design that kind of is in a water or stained glass effect. Our second place winner was Mary Johnson from Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's a blue and green X and squares, and it's hanging on the front of our building. So please, before you leave, take a look at that in a much smaller thing. And the front of our building, so I hope each of you get around to see that. And then our grand prize winner is Linda Erickson from Sierra Vista, Arizona. Linda shared with me that she's been quilting for about 20 years. She pretty much does a lot of art quilts. In fact, this year, she just found out last week, wasn't it, that one of her miniature art quilts is going to be hanging in Houston for the IQA juried event. And so we wish you luck on, that's a win in itself, but we wish you we're going to keep our finger crossed that it gets a grand prize there too. And that's not the first time she's had a quilt in Houston. I guess a couple years ago you had a quilt accepted in the contest. So congratulations on that. The other thing that Linda shared with me, her love of quilting, the thing that she really likes about quilting is the ability to give back to her community through her quilting art. And when they lived in New Mexico, in 1 year, her group that gave over 800 quilts to the community for different organizations. And last year, her group in Arizona, which has 150 members, gave over 250 quilts to different community organizations. So she really is very sharing with her quilt thing. And I think, are we ready for the unveiling? Ready to drop? Is this going to work?
Drum
okay,
roll.
we need a drum roll. And it's going to happen. Keep drum rolling. The suspense is building. And it's going to happen today. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is a sneak preview. Give us a second for a second chance here.
Coming down the inside.
Okay, think a windstorm without rain. Todd told us earlier he was going to have to crawl down. We just was hoping that wasn't the case. Yeah. Okay.
Todd, pull it out.
Oh, so close.
Jump, Karen.
And a little more sneak preview happening here.
Isn't it gorgeous?